Hi, it's Sharon from Ponderosa Garden Adventures. Welcome back. If you haven't been here before, welcome. We garden here in Southern California, Zone 10A, and I'm out in my backyard today to try to get a Garden 30 done. And what that is 20, if you have 20-30 minutes of time, you can't put a full session in the garden. You might think, what am I even going to get done in that amount of time? But I'm here to show you that 20 or 30 minutes in the garden can make a big impact. And if you do 3 garden 30s a week, that's an hour and a half, and that's a huge impact. So I've got a list of things that I saw on my coffee walk this morning, some things that need to be trimmed back, some things that need to be deadheaded, and some things need to be pulled out or moved. And so I'm just going to work down the list of things that have really caught my eye, that have maybe been bothering me as I'm sitting and having my coffee and I'm looking around going, oh, that tomato really I need to come in and trim that. So let's see what I can get done, and we'll catch up at the end. Before we start, I just want to share with you our grapevine. We have so many grapes on here, and it is just so rewarding to see these bunches of grapes, even though we are sharing them with the birds for sure this year. But they are just so sweet, and we've really enjoyed this year. Where are they? Somewhere there's a bunch. There they are. Anyway, thought you'd enjoy seeing that. Right. I'm going to start this morning on the Russian sage here on the backside of Charlemagne. All right, there we go. That's one. Let's keep track of our tasks today. So now I'm going to go and trim the calendula. That's 3. We have arugula and some broccoli. I let the arugula go to flower, but it's time to take it down. I'm gonna All right, that's 4. Let's trim up some of the cucumber. It's got some dead leaves. I did a little yesterday, but let's come through and kind of rewind the cucumber and get some of those dead leaves off. Got some leaves that don't look great here. Look at those spider mites going on here. Want it going into peppers. Take down arugula. I should just pull it, but not ready to do that yet. All right, that's 5. Time for a 10-minute break. All right, I'm gonna take a quick look. It looks much better in here. I'm still here in Provence, and I have got a tomato here. I don't even know what kind this is. I think it might be a Sweet 100, but I'm not completely sure. And I've got a pepper growing in here also, which looks like nicely is growing inside the cage here, which is great. But what I want to do, and I usually do this with my tomatoes, is I want to take down these lower branches. I want to make sure there's plenty of air circulation in here. Oh my goodness, there's tomatoes on here. I didn't even see those. That's so funny. I'm going to take that one off. And I'm going to take this one off here. And this one out here. And these are going into cucumber. Take it down a little bit so it doesn't turn into a monster tomato. And more down here. There we go. It'll keep airflow in the plant, so it'll less chance for disease. I'm going to take this one out here too. So now we're going to have some air circulation in there. It's not going over into the cucumbers. There we go. That looks so much better. And now the pepper, which is growing right here next to my tomato, has enough room because it's not going to get as tall. It shouldn't get as tall. There we go. So there we go. So that's number 6. So let's keep moving. All right, well, I'm here in the shade right next to Provence. It's starting to get really warm out here. It's getting to be early afternoon, so it's time for me to kind of start to wrap it up. But I've got a few little things here just looking around Provence that I wanted to take care of. I have a geranium that needs to be just tended to. It needs some pruning and just some taking out the dead leaves and all of that, just kind of a little fluffing. And then I've got 3 terracotta pots here that had some parsley and some oregano, and they're out here in full sun, and I never did get the water line piggybacked out of Provence into them, and I just didn't keep up with the watering, and so in this heat we've had, they did not make it. So I'm going to clean out these pots, and then when I get ready to do the flower planting, I'll use some of these to plant some flowers in and make sure we hook them up to drip so that they have a better chance. So let's get that done. Alrighty, there we go. So this should be really quick, and I'm going to use just this little weeder here. Get rid of the tags. I always keep my tags. Do you keep your tags so that I know what varieties I grew? This is actually this rosemary. This is a weed. Get that out of there too. This rosemary actually is not even from this season. It's from last season. I never got anything else planted in here. It was kind of out of the way. So I just want to make sure I get all of those things out. And then we'll go through and we will get these ready for planting. I'm not going to do all of that right now, but I will just at least loosen up the top section here so that water will want to penetrate. All right, there's one. And here we go. This was the parsley. It was doing really good for a while, and I saw it was struggling, and I gave it a really good soak in a drink, and then we got busy on our front yard project, and it couldn't make it. I think I've got the, oh, there we go, curled parsley. So let me just loosen up the top here a little bit. It's very dry. You can see, my goodness, I'm just going to actually get rid of that. That was part of the little plant pod. It lasted a good long while. It was most of the season. See, some of this is, I think maybe I didn't clean out the pot well enough when I planted the parsley. I might have just kind of plopped it into a pot that I didn't refresh very well. Usually parsley is not too picky, so anyway, I was probably just trying to get some green around the Provence here when I was planting it. All right, that's two. And we have the oregano. I saw when it was struggling, I was going to come out and clip it and dry it, and I should have done that. But there's a lot of shoulda, woulda, couldas in gardening. We do the best we can. There we go. Just gonna see again. I think this is going to be pretty much the plant start. Pretty sure this was a start. It might have been one I started from seed. I frankly can't remember at this point, but it is done. Its life is over. I'll leave some of those. There we go. Look at that. Look at the roots that were in there. This just should have been watered. It was happy in its life. I can smell the oregano. I can still smell it. So strong. Great smell. And it also helps. I try to put oregano and some of the rosemary and things around the garden out here because it also helps keep away the pests. The bunnies don't like it. The other mosquitoes and things don't, so it helps keep them away. There we go, and that's three. So we've got all three of those cleaned out and ready to go. And this one, talk about saving. This one got knocked over. I used to keep them before I had the cover over Provence. I used to keep these pots. I painted them all blue, had them on the corners of Provence, and one got knocked down and it broke, but it was a pretty clean break, so I just glued it back together, and as long as I don't pick it up right there, this thing is still going strong. So gotta love terracotta. Okay, the last thing on my list here today is to give some attention to this geranium here. This sits in front of my Provence bed, and it just needs some attention. I need to go through and pick out all of the brown leaves and the spent blooms and take a good look at it and see what's going on with the plant. Are there any yellowing leaves, any diseases or any pests? And I can see here that something's been nibbling on it. I can see it's probably earwigs. There's a few holes here and there. So I'll put some Sluggo on this evening, and that'll help take care of that. It's also time for me to do some liquid feed in the garden. It's a little late for that today, but either tomorrow or Saturday, I'll come along and make sure that this geranium gets some liquid feed, and it will come back and reward me with beautiful pink blooms and just look fabulous. So. We stopped at number 6. Number 7, I didn't show you on camera, but this planter right here that has the green shade cloth on the back, that is a giant Marconi pepper, and it had some raggedy looking leaves on the bottom. Oh, looks like I missed one in the back. And I trimmed some of those off, so that's number 7. And clearing the terracotta pots, that's number 8. And our geranium here is number 9. So, well, that's 9 jobs done that were just little things that I noticed around the garden. Sometimes it's not the big jobs you do, it's just those little things. And sometimes you can just bunch those little things together. That, all in all, time spent in doing all those things was probably about half an hour. It was a little longer for me moving cameras and things like that, but it was about half an hour worth of actual really simple things that really make a big impact. Cleaning out Provence and getting those cucumber leaves done, and trimming the Russian sage, and trimming the calendula and the kangaroo paw, and getting the terracotta pots cleared out, and the tomato and the peppers trimmed up, and taking care of this geranium that sits in front of me when I'm sitting here to relax, and I keep looking at it going, I really got to do that. So I hope that you followed that same suit and just get those little jobs done, even if it's 3 or 4. It really it makes you feel better that you got something done. So thanks for joining me here today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribe to the channel, I hope you will. It helps us grow this channel, and we really enjoy bringing these videos to you. So join us again next time on Ponderosa Garden Adventures. Bye, guys.